Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the Magicshine Seemee R300 radar taillight. While Magicshine has had their name on a bike radar with the co-branded Magene Magicshine Seemee 508, the taillight design has never really shared much in common with other Magicshine lights. The new Magicshine Seemee R300 is their latest radar and uses an all-new design with multi-element LEDs that incorporate some of the best features of the other Magicshine products. In terms of packaging, you can see very simple, just a cardboard box, illustration of the radar on there, and then Magishine's orange on black branding that we see with a lot of their products. Basic specs are printed here, along with the runtimes on the back side. I'll go ahead and open this up, we'll go over the specs. Retail price on this is $119.99, so it definitely undercuts Garmin and other radars on the market. It has a claimed 150 meter or 490 foot radar range, with a 20-degree horizontal range and a 5-degree vertical, which is competitive with other radars on the market. What's great about this is they've incorporated a multi-element taillight design. So not only do you get a single COB LED, but you get two COB LED strips, you get this little wraparound COB LED design, and then a focus LED on the front to ensure you're visible from any angle. And with this focus LED, that ensures you're visible from quite a distance away. And they claimed 100-hour runtime if you use the eco mode with the radar off. It also has a separate control for the radar, so you can use this as a taillight with a radar completely off, or you can use it as a radar only with the taillight completely off, so you do have that flexibility. In terms of what you get with this, you get the product itself. So you can see pretty sleek triangular shaped taillight radar combo, nice foam packaging. You get a simple handle or seat post mount. Uses their miniaturized Garmin mount. So it looks like a Garmin, but it's a lot smaller. This is shared with a lot of their Seemee products. USB Type-C charging cable. A little warranty card here. And then the user manual. Now let's take a look at the weight of the radar taillight combination. So just the radar and taillight combo is 113 grams. The seat post mount, it's all plastic, so it's pretty lightweight. So it comes in at only 13 grams. Visually, the Magicshine Seemee R300 looks quite similar to the Magicshine Seemee DV camera taillight. They both share the same triangular shape with this kind of squared off profile that's a lot taller than it is wide. It is fairly bulky though. You can see a thick profile and that conceals the battery and the additional technology that's required with this. What's really cool about this is they've really stepped up to the game as far as the taillight design. So you have two COB LED strips on the bottom. So if I turn the light on, you can see on the bottom we have these two nice strips and they give you this nice uniform glow. So even from high angles, you're still visible. So even if you're almost in front of the taillight, you can still see the edge. It gives a nice glow. It's not meant to really illuminate the road. So you can see a more uniform glow that doesn't have much distance and visibility in longer distances. Above that, you have a focus LED and you can see very bright. And that is that focused light that you see here. This ensures you're visible from quite a distance away. And then you have this really cool rotating kind of animated light. That indicates the radar is on. As far as the mounting on this, you can see very simple. So on the back side, you have a miniaturized Garmin mount. So same two protruding tab design. It's just miniaturized for this product. It's the same mount that we see with their other Seemee lights, but the same interface, so rotate it, lock into place, so very secure and simple design. So you can leave the mount on your bike and then simply lock into place. We're kind of surprised they didn't go with a bigger mount with a full-size Garmin, because you can see this is a pretty small mount given the weight of this taillight and the length of it. You can see the included mount is very simple. It's just a little rubber strap design. You hook it into place and then lock it. And because it's this miniaturized design, you can't actually use other Garmin Varia or the COM products that are on the market, which are actually designed to have a little bit more secure interface, but they're designed for the bigger Garmin mount. So this does work well. It has a rubber backing, and you can see it's offset for the angle of your seat post. So while the co-branded Magene Magicshine Seemee 508 radar was a good radar for the price, we always found the taillight design to be a little disappointing. But this one, you can see it's a lot nicer. They've really taken the elements from their radar or their camera, which had that little rotating animation. They've added the kind of diffused COB LEDs on the side. And then you have the focus one, so you have a great combination. You have the long distance visibility, and then the side visibility that you really want when you're cycling. You also have a USB Type-C port on the side, so it's almost hidden here with a little small cover that can be used to charge this. As far as the user interface on this, it's kind of simple. It's 2 buttons on the top, quite large. So you can see holding the power button will turn it on. When you first turn it on, it's automatically on with the radar and the taillight. You can cycle through the available modes. And then you can even turn off the radar functionality. So there's a separate button here. If I hold that, that'll turn it off. And the way you know it's off is because this little rotating animation is gone. So that rotating animation, just like the camera taillight, indicates whether the camera's on or the radar's on. So pretty simple. And now you can really easily see it's off. You also have the backlit power button. So you can see this will go between green, red, or flashing red. So it'll give you some indication of the battery life. You can also run this as radar only, so you just hold the radar button and you can see I just have the animation here. So pretty cool design, and ensures you always know exactly what's actually available, and you give that multi-element design so you're always visible from any angle. So pretty cool. I'm really happy to see Magicshine kind of do this clean slate design. There's also an auto sleep functionality. So with this one, you can hold the power button with the light off, and then you can have this auto vibration sleep mode. So if it doesn't detect motion for 5 minutes, automatically turn off to sleep mode. Then if you touch it, it'll turn back on. It's convenient if you're doing a lot of stop and go kind of commuting and you're leaving it outside. Otherwise, you do have a lock mode. So if I hold the power button, if I'm transporting this, you can see now I'm in a lock mode. So this will just blink red. So it won't automatically turn on. And to disable that lock mode, you kind of hold it until you see it flash. Now you have the normal functionality. Now let's look at the output modes of the R300. You have 2 constant modes, low and then high. High is 120 lumen with 8-hour runtime. Then you have a couple flash options. You have a nighttime pulse, which is hard to see here, but it just goes from low to high. Eco flash, which is 10 lumens and 24-hour runtime. And then the best mode, daytime flash, which is a full 300 lumen with 16.2-hour runtime. Now you can see mounted on the bike, you have great side visibility with the mount design, but it is very flimsy. You can see here, if you just apply a little pressure, it's top mounted and quite heavy compared to the other Seemee products. So it would have been nice if they used a different mount style or reposition it to be more secure. The great part about this taillight design though is you have great side visibility from any angle. So you can see here, those side COB LED strips are visible from the side. So even if you're approaching an intersection, you're always visible, and it has this tall, narrow profile, which has great visibility again. So really nice taillight design, one of the best on the market, I think, at least with the current radars. Here you can see some riding footage, and again, the combination of the LED strips and then that focus LED ensure you're visible from short or long distances. Has a large lens, so you can see here from close distances, you're very visible. And then when a car approaches, it switches to that high frequency flashing to ensure that they see you. So really cool feature. And again, the visibility is one of the best things on this. It's much better than the original Seemee 508 and other radars on the market, which have smaller LEDs and simpler designs. With this one, it's much more similar to the Flare RT from Trek, with that focus LED that's highly visible. So as you can see here, when a car approaches, again, high frequency flash, and even as you ride away, you have that nice focus LED that's visible. So a really great design, ensures you're always safe on the road, whether it's daytime or nighttime. Now let's take a look at the radar performance. Here we have a GoPro pointed backwards to see the traffic, another one pointed downward to see the alerts on our GPS computer, so you can get a sense of how accurate it is. We're pretty impressed with the R300. You have a nice long range detection with 140 meter range, so it's on par with the other GPSs on the market. So it'll detect a car before you hear it or see it. So it's a really nice feature, especially if you're on a rural road or side road. It'll give you the alert and notify it's there before you'll hear it. You also have nice multi-car detection, so even in heavy traffic, it seems to be pretty reliable. They've done a couple of refinements, so separate cars are picked up as separate, and if you have longer vehicles, those will be picked up as separate vehicles as well by design. If you have cars approaching you at the same speed as you, they will disappear, which is the design of most radars. It's based on speed differential. So overall, they've done a really good job. It's on par with the other radars we've used. And the detection, we haven't had any false negatives here, so it's always been pretty accurate, and when there's a car, it detects it. The one downside is, though, you do get a couple phantom cars, so these are kind of false positives. So here you can see cars that it thinks it's approaching, and I think that's just an issue with reflections or parked vehicles. That's something they've been working on. This is about the 5th radar we've received from them. So we think a couple more software iterations and they'll probably have this dialed down. So occasionally you'll get a car that's not really there, and then it'll disappear, but otherwise pretty reliable. And with a really nice taillight design, it's a great combination. Here you can see we have the Magicshine DV. So very similar in design. They both have this triangular profile, buttons on the top. They both have the animation. So you can see when the camera's on, you get that animation. And when the radar is on, you get that same animation. So pretty cool. And this one has a couple more COB LED strips. So it's more triangular, while this one has a flattened front to accommodate the radar surface. Both have the same mount and almost identical form factor, so they probably share at least a few parts. We also have the other Seemee products. So here we have the Seemee 300. So big taillight, 2 LEDs, but this has a cool COB LED strip around it, which is very similar to what's found on the R300. We also have the Seemee 200, and again, they all share the same mount. So I've definitely taken a lot of the nice elements, such as the focus LED and COB LED strip, the battery status indicators, and really all put them in to this radar. We also have the original Magicshine Magene co-branded model. So here you can see it. It's very simple. It just has a ring of LEDs, glossy plastic that over time definitely shows a lot of scratches, but it's a thinner design. And what's interesting is the radar surface is much larger on this, wall. On the R300 smaller. That might be one reason why the performance isn't quite as good, as it's just a lot of less surface area to really detect vehicles. But again, the taillight design on this is very simple. You don't even have a focus LED, it's just this ring. And you can see it really doesn't have much more than kind of a glow effect. So it's really nice that they've added the focus LED. The nice thing about this one was that you did have a standard Magicshine or Garmin mount, so bigger size rather than this miniature one, so it's more stable on the bike and compatible with other mounts on the market. We have the Bryton Guardia. So you can see very simple design. They just put the taillight on top. It's a lot thinner, same length. And you can see this one uses the Bryton mount, which is a little bit thicker. Otherwise very similar designs, and the taillight, again, just not as nice. You do have a focus LED and then side markers that kind of mimic what's in the Garmin. And then you have these sort of confusing lights on the bottom that are kind of more difficult to decipher what's going on. So you do have those side lights, but again, the Magicshine, I think, really outdid them with these more COB LED strips rather than just a single element. We also have the iGPSPORT radar, which is very similar to the Garmin Varia, so they've definitely mimicked a lot of the design elements. You have a focus LED on top, side markers, and this translucent body, which looks pretty cool. So you do have side visibility, but again, if you put these side by side, you're definitely going to see the Magicshine one and not the iGPSPORT one, as it has a much smaller surface area. They both have focus LED, but this one just feels a lot brighter, and you get the cool animation that indicates whether the radar's on or not. So I think Magicshine's done a good job. The radar performance is still not quite there, but the taillight design, I think, is really on point. And it's really exciting to see a radar that actually has a decent taillight, rather than just decent radars with subpar taillights. Now let's go over the pros and cons for the R300. What we like about it is very competitively priced, very affordable given the output and all the features. It also has excellent visibility from any angle with the side COB LED, the focus LED, a little rotated one, so they've done a really good job with the taillight design. And as with other Magicshine Seemee products, you get the multi-level battery indicator, which lets you check the battery status before you start riding. As far as negatives, the radar uses the mini Garmin mount that's top mounted and it's pretty flimsy. The mount could be improved or the position could be adjusted to eliminate some of the vibrations. Also, the radar algorithm still could use improvements. You get a lot of false positives on empty roads with the parked cars or signs causing reflections. Taking everything into account, we give the R300 a 9.0 out of 10. It takes all the great elements of a Seemee taillight and adds radar functionality. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us on our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at thesweetcyclist. This is The Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.